Now at 9, one of Joplin's murals is coming down, but hours after the initial announcement, a slight change of plans.
It happens every 3 decades. 3 major religious holidays happening this weekend. I'm Greg Pelcott in London. That's my story. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. A chase in Joplin this afternoon led to a crash of a Newton County Sheriff's Patrol car, also a Coca-Cola vehicle, at the intersection of 20th and Schifferdecker. Authorities say law officers were chasing a Jeep that had been stolen out of a Jasper County location when the crash occurred. 3 people were taken to the hospital. The deputy in the patrol car checked out okay. The Jeep continued north several miles before the driver got out and ran in the area of an off-road park. According to the Jasper County Sheriff's Office, the suspect was later caught near the off-road park and taken into custody without incident. A woman is now facing charges in a deadly Miami hit and run that happened back in February. The Miami police named Mindy McBrien as the suspect in the case. Back on February 5th, officers were called to Seth Owens Boulevard. There, they found 58-year-old Quan Zin Yi. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Now, McBrien is charged with second-degree manslaughter and leaving the scene of an accident with fatality. Doug Heddy joining us now. We're waiting. We
have been. We've been waiting for thunderstorms to pop up in our southern counties, and they've just taken a very long time to do so. And the later it gets, the better situation it gets for us. We are going to get thunderstorms tonight, but our severe threat is much, much lower. All right, 69 for a high. We started at 48 during the morning hours. You can see a severe thunderstorm watch in our southeastern counties, and then one just to our south. Once you get down south of Grand Lake toward Tulsa, that's where most of the severe weather now is going to stay. It's kind of down south of the region. We are still going to get some thunderstorms later on tonight, and some of those could be kind of strong, but not expecting much in the way of severe weather, which is great news. So we'll break it all down for you. Look at Easter weekend here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thanks so much. Residents of Weir, Kansas are being asked by the city to conserve water. This after a water main break at Bone Creek. The mayor hopes the problem is fixed sometime tomorrow, he hopes. The iconic I Am Joplin mural in downtown has been taken down, but what will happen next with it is still up in the air. KOM's Chris Warner tells us how the original plans upset some Joplin residents and why the Downtown Joplin Alliance has made a change for the mural's future.
I Am Joplin is a photo mural put up at 6th and Main in downtown by Art Feeds back in 2013. Funding came from a $500 grant and around $3,000 in community donations. It featured photos of residents holding signs saying "I am" and the phrase that best described them. On Thursday, the Downtown Joplin Alliance announced the mural was coming down and would be auctioned off. Some residents took to Facebook following the announcement, expressing concerns about auctioning off the 52 individual panels. One resident expressed concerns about a photo of her daughter being auctioned off to a stranger. Others had concerns about breaking up the mural, including Joplin resident Joshua Bard.
What they do with it is what's the most important, I think. You know, it's an icon of the iconic figure in Joplin. It popped up after the tornado, and I think that as a community, it's one of those things that we expect to see now. It's something that's been there so long that it's important to our community.
The Downtown Joplin Alliance early Friday morning announced they were putting the auction on hold and that the panels would be put in storage for now. We reached out to Lori Hahn with the DJA. She provided us a statement saying that community response didn't really influence this change. Hahn says they decided there might be other options and the Alliance wanted to take some time. She added, quote, "We know this is a meaningful piece for the community and want to make sure we don't act in haste." As for that future, Bard says one thing is clear.
They need to stay together. 52 panels, I think the intentions were pure, but keeping them all together is the most important part of it, I think.
In Joplin, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
The Downtown Joplin Alliance says the owner of the building the mural was on is preparing the space to feature rotating displays of local artists' works. People gathered today for the Go Blue Wellness Walk at Mercy Park, an event to bring awareness to child abuse in Joplin. Children's Center of Southwest Missouri hosted the walk. Now, research shows that 1 in 10 children are going to be the victim of sexual abuse before their 18th birthday. Officials with the center discussed how someone could be a safe adult to help protect children from becoming victims.
I want to bring awareness to people because this is a huge problem in our communities. 1 in 10 children will experience sexual abuse before they turn 18, and to break that down even further, it's 1 in 6 boys and 1 in 4 girls. This happens in every community.
If you know of a child who's being abused, you can call the Child Abuse Hotline. You're going to find that information on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. If you've been in Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, think about some projects that were part of the program. The derby car thing, right, for Boy Scouts. A Life Scout from Pittsburgh made special chemotherapy bags for patients at Mercy Hospital in Joplin. Each bag contained a puzzle book, pens, pencils, socks, some gum and mints, hand sanitizer, masks, Kleenex, and chapstick.
There's a horrible disease that you can't really stop or contain super well.
Fontaine hopes these bags bring comforts to patients during treatment. Good job. A reminder, if you haven't taken care of this already, Monday, April 18th is the deadline to file those 2021 tax returns. It's the 18th, just in case you're wondering, instead of the 15th because of the Emancipation Day holiday in the District of Columbia.
Well, sometimes the worst possible scenarios, oh gosh, I didn't get those filed last year, or the year before, or the year before that. So it could run into a pattern of habitual just not filing. If you haven't filed and April 18th is passed, don't worry, come see us, we'll get you taken care of.
Taxpayers requesting an extension have until Monday, April 18th to file. That's wrong, actually. I'm going to get the right date for you. That extension, I'm going to get the right date for you. I have a feeling that's wrong. I promise. All right, it happens about every 3 decades. People around the world will celebrate 3 major religious holidays over the coming days. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Pelcott has more.
Judaism, Islam, and Christian faiths will observe religious holidays this weekend, but it's a rare occurrence. Easter, Ramadan, and Passover overlap about every 33 years. Today in Vatican City, Pope Francis commemorated Good Friday with a service at St. Peter's Basilica, while Christians in Jerusalem marked the day walking along the Via Dolorosa, where it's believed Jesus carried the cross to his crucifixion. Worshippers also gathering outside Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, 3 years after a massive fire destroyed the building's roof.
It's a ceremony of love, peace, and fraternity. I think it's beautiful. I enjoyed it a lot.
Good Friday also coinciding with the start of Passover, which begins at sundown. Despite rising tensions in Israel, tourists visited the region for the holiday.
People you hear in some places in the world, you hear about what's going on in Israel, and it's scary, but then you come here and it's everyday life.
But the Muslim holy month of Ramadan was marked by violence. In Jerusalem, more than 150 Palestinians at the Al-Aqsa Mosque were wounded in a clash with Israeli police. Palestinians say thousands of worshippers were gathering to pray when they were hit with rubber bullets, stun grenades, and batons.
This barbarism is used by the occupation to suppress the safe worshippers who came to attend morning prayer. They were suppressed.
Israeli authorities say Palestinians started the violence by throwing stones at them. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
It's shaping up to be an expensive Easter and Passover weekend for those who celebrate, as war, shortages, and even a bird flu are making things pricier than ever for this year's holidays. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard is in Washington with more.
Sky-high prices have holiday shoppers hoping to fill tables and baskets hopping mad.
It definitely seems like some items have almost doubled. Some are like a half of a price more.
In March, inflation increased 8.5%, more than a year ago, a 40-year high. The administration acknowledges Americans are hurting, but passes blame to the pandemic and the war in Ukraine.
And we all agree it's a huge problem. It's the #1 issue in polls. Everyone thinks costs are too high.
This year, the White House Easter egg roll is back, but the price of eggs, nothing to celebrate. Due to inflation and a bird flu outbreak, they're up 11.2% over last year. Other Passover and Easter favorites are up as well.
When we talk about certain food categories, like, for example, eggs, ham, dairy products, fish, salmon, these are up double digits.
Not sweet, candy up 7.6%, toys up 2%. Some analysts agree with the administration it's only temporary.
So supply chains are going to start getting fixed. that all bodes well for lower inflation as we move into the latter part of the year.
Some Republicans say the record inflation is from Democratic policies.
Everything they do is counter to solving the problem in front of us. But if we'd act faster and more boldly, it wouldn't have to be all that long.
The National Retail Federation estimates Americans will spend on average $170 this Easter. Food will be the biggest cost. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
All right, so remember that mistake I made about tax deadlines? Monday is the deadline for many of us if you haven't requested an extension. Monday is also, April 18th, is also the deadline for requesting a tax extension, which gives taxpayers until October 17th. Okay, if you get that extension filed by April 18th, you have until October 17th. Whew, fixed it. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Robert Harriman served in the U.S. Navy from 1949 to 1954, and we are proud to thank and salute Second-Class Petty Officer Robert Harriman, a native of Cherryvale, Kansas. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug Heddy's next with a complete look at the forecast, and later Pittsburgh hosting SEK rival Fort Scott in their home opener tonight. We're going to have highlights and post-game reaction in sports.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a decent day for us today. Temperatures, they warmed up into the 60s, some areas near 80, depending on where you lived, as we had a warm front and a cold front kind of draped through the region all day long. We've been kind of waiting for thunderstorms to get going. They didn't want to do it, which is fine. I kind of prefer that, but we've had quite a bit of severe weather just to our south. Southern Missouri, parts of Arkansas, and then now starting to get going down across northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Any storms we had earlier over toward Mount Vernon, Monette, Cassville, these are all gone, so we don't have to worry about that. Still a little bit unstable in northeastern Oklahoma for Craig County, Ottawa County, and also Delaware County, but not unstable enough that we're going to see any severe weather. So we don't really have a severe threat from this point on due to our cold front that has been rolling in. So you can see the northerly wind. So here's the front, and then right when you hit Joplin, you hit the warm front. So we still have a little bit of unstable air in our southern counties, but besides that, we look pretty good as all the big thunderstorms are going to stay south. Now, we are going to get some scattered thunderstorms in here late tonight, but we're not going to have a severe threat. Good news. All right, so this little wave is rotating by out to the west. Northern parts of California, that is our next little wave, and that is going to give us some showers moving in by the time we head into Easter, which most people don't want to see. All right, let's go through time. Some spotty little thunderstorms over the next couple hours, trying to flare up a bit late tonight, especially in our southern counties. So here's 3 o'clock in the morning. You can see them increasing here. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and then most of the band stays along and south of I-44. But again, not expecting anything severe, but we could have some pockets of heavy amounts of rain as those rotate through. Temperatures right now, we're dropping off a little bit, upper 50s to lower 60s across most of the region. But look at the winds kind of switching around as that cold front here comes marching south. Now we have northeasterly winds, so that's why our severe threat is gone. Outside right now, 59, northerly winds 5 to 10, humidity is at 78%. As we go through the overnight hours and then continuing into tomorrow morning, we are going to have some showers early in the morning, but then we'll break out, see partly sunny skies. The afternoon looks pretty good, little chilly, but not bad as we go into lower 60s. 56 by noon, high temp right around 62 during the afternoon. All right, tomorrow night, clouds work right back in. We start to see some spotty little showers out there, increasing by the time we head into Sunday morning. So we're going to have these bands of light showers. No, nothing strong, nothing severe, just bands of light showers on Easter. 62 tomorrow, 55 on Sunday, 63 on Monday. A thunderstorm chances increasing again as we go through next week.
Days like today are a reminder, you study the weather, you don't make the weather.
Yeah.
Right?
I could make a lot of money if I made the
weather. Oh, yeah. See you in a little bit. Thanks so much, Doug. Coming up from Russia, we know what you're doing and we don't like it.
Russia with a new warning to the U.S. and NATO about the weapons they're sending to Ukraine. I'm Lucas Tomlinson in Washington. I'll have the details coming up.
The war in Ukraine escalating by the hour. Russia now claiming it's destroyed a factory in Kyiv that makes anti-ship missiles. The strike happening after Ukraine claimed it sunk a Russian warship. Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson has more details from Washington.
The Russian military releasing a new video claiming a retaliatory attack on a machine building plant outside the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. The strike's taking place after the U.S. says a pair of Ukrainian missiles sunk a large Russian warship in the Black Sea.
A significant symbol to the Ukrainians, and it's got to be a huge morale boost for Ukrainian forces.
This week, President Biden announcing another $800 million in security assistance will be sent to Ukraine. The package includes drones, anti-aircraft and anti-tank missiles, armored vehicles, and helicopters. Russia warning the U.S. and NATO of unpredictable consequences if the alliance keeps sending those weapons to Ukraine.
It's really designed very much more specifically and tailored to the kind of fighting that we think the Ukrainians are going to be experiencing in the Donbass here in coming days and weeks.
Russia's invasion is also putting a major strain on the U.S. relationship with China. CIA Director William Burns criticized Beijing, calling Chinese President Xi Jinping a silent partner in Russia's war in Ukraine.
Putin is merely becoming Xi's sadistic sidekick in this new Cold War that they have launched against the West.
The White House is reportedly looking into sending a high-level official to Kyiv following the British Prime Minister's visit last week. U.S. officials say it won't be President Biden. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Still ahead, going to learn about a program in Vegas and how dads are providing care and love at school. Pilot program in Nevada called Dads in Schools would allow dads and other volunteers on school campuses to help watch over students. Dads are stepping up to answer the call, but officials say they need even more volunteers. Fox's Kim Passoff has more.
Just feel like I could do my part. Volunteer a couple hours a week.
Eddie Blanco has a daughter in junior high and a car detailing business that gives him flexibility to volunteer during school hours.
When we show up, love shows up, and I think that's exactly what our youth needs today, just a little more love.
He knows after the pandemic, students are hurting and believes a strong male presence, a support system some do not have at home, could make all the difference in stopping school violence.
If we could really change the trajectory of someone's life, I don't really think you can put a measurement on that. We just need more men, more dads to show up.
Eddie and other dads came together to start the training process at the Enterprise Command Metro substation.
So we're looking for the churches or the men's groups that are in those areas.
The need is huge. They are looking for approximately 750 volunteers for the 74 schools in CCSD that have requested them to be on campus. Eddie says the community must step up and help kids, and especially their teachers.
To deal with what they're dealing with right now, I don't really think it's a burden that they were ever meant to carry. And with dads in schools, I just hope that we're able to alleviate a little bit of that.
All right, next, we'll look at some favorite Easter candy and how different parts of the country fancy different kinds of sweets. What Easter candies have America hopping like Peter Cottontail? Well, a delivery platform dishes on what's in our Easter baskets, many of them anyway. Instacart looked at purchase data and a Harris poll to tell us what Easter candies land in that soft Easter basket grass. Cadbury's cream egg and Reese's peanut butter eggs dominated 88% of the country. But America also gobbles jelly beans, chocolate kisses, and jelly bird eggs. 5 states love marshmallow chicks, and 5 are keen on those jelly beans. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Cadbury. The cream eggs, yeah, they're good. They're good. But the caramel-filled Cadbury eggs, even better. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming away. Going to check out a cooking competition over at the Pittsburgh High School.
2 adorable rescue dogs from Brazil are helping their rescuers keep communities safe. I'm Ashley Strohmeyer with a look at how the popular pups are working alongside firefighters and police officers coming up.
Pittsburgh High School culinary students take on others from Sparta High School in a cooking competition. The event was hosted at PHS today, and each school had a 3-person team. They made 3 dishes, an appetizer, an entree, also a dessert. KOM's Jalen Banks has more on this story.
So far I've had a ton of fun with it, just seeing everything we've done and getting to experience the kitchen, and I'm sure they've had a bunch of fun too, and stepping out of our comfort zone and reaching new heights that we don't get to do often.
And then I'm over here giving my expertise on like how to be able to like cook under pressure, how to get stuff out at a certain time, and being able to rely on your teammates like that and having that, I guess, just reliability. It's huge, huge and integral part to the competition, and I wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Probably dealing with just like the stress of everything, like because I know everybody else here in this competition is also super talented, and it's a lot to deal with and make sure that I can just put in my best even if it's not as good as theirs.
They definitely they know what they're doing, and they're not to be underestimated. But I think we got a chance.
I think it's a ton of fun just seeing what other people can come up with and seeing how they will use the same ingredients I have, because we're all going to make something totally different.
Some tasty looking food. Sparta went on to win the competition. Alorica employees helped families in need have a happy Easter this Sunday. This afternoon, members of the company's team in Joplin dropped off Easter baskets at the Children's Haven and the Lafayette House. Baskets were all donated by Alorica employees as part of a yearly partnership with both groups.
We rely on community support to keep our doors open for kids who are vulnerable during a crisis, and so to have businesses who are willing to partner with us and go outside their normal daily scope to be able to help community kids is so important.
Enough Easter baskets were put together for all the families currently staying at the Lafayette House. If you are headed to see family for the Easter holiday, a little bit of good news. The average price per gallon of gas continues to drop. According to AAA, the average in the Joplin Metro is now $3.48. Crawford County, Kansas average is currently $3.63. Prices are about $3.57 in Ottawa County, and the Rogers, Springdale, Fayetteville area of northwest Arkansas and WA is seeing average prices of $3.58. Clean Energy is making a big statement. Back on March 29th, March 29th, wind power was the nation's second largest provider of energy, beating out coal and nuclear energy for the first time on a single day in U.S. history. Federal energy officials say strong spring winds in certain parts of the country were a big reason for this. Only natural gas produced more energy on March 29th. Despite this small victory, experts do not expect wind power to overtake coal or nuclear power for any whole month over the next 2 years anyway. Awesome story. 2 abandoned dogs went from being homeless on the streets to social media stars. And now these remarkable pups are using their celebrity status to help local police and firefighters in Brazil. Fox News correspondent Ashley Strohmeyer has a special look.
A pair of rescue dogs from Brazil are taking Rio de Janeiro by storm as they leave behind their life on the streets to help better the lives of community members. This is Corporal Oliveira. The adorable pup wandered into one of Rio's police stations back in 2019, injured and tired. Officer Cristiano Oliveira, the dog's namesake, helped nurse him back to health and hasn't left his side ever since. Meanwhile, this little guy named Caramello, after his amber color fur, was rescued by local firefighters in Rio last year. Both dogs accompany their companions while on missions, delighting people on the streets as they make their rounds. But it's their online presence that's really making an impact. The Pooches have become popular social media stars, amassing a collective audience of more than 73,000 followers on Instagram.
I have to post photos and messages because he has so many followers and fans. Sometimes I have to send out 200 messages and pictures a day.
And they're using their newfound fame to help raise awareness for different causes, like advocating for public safety, raising funds for victims of natural disasters, and more.
A lot of activities, like a campaign to adopt abandoned animals, animals that need medical help and food, even campaigns aimed at prevention of cancers, like colon cancer.
Police and fire officials say they never thought the public would respond so well to the dogs. Their social media accounts get so much attention, their owners say it's sometimes hard to keep up. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
And they deserve that attention. A bit later, time for some football.
A new football league premieres this weekend, and it promises to give fans better access than ever before. I'm Madison Allworth in Birmingham. Coming up, I'll have the details.
Not a bad Friday for us today. We did get some scattered thunderstorms in portions of the region as we worked through the evening hours, but most severe weather stayed off to our southeast and then building again down through east central parts of Oklahoma, but really around us, which is good news. We have a front that's dropping through, so that means our severe weather threat is pretty much gone, which is great. We don't have to deal with much of anything throughout the overnight hours for us tonight. A couple little guys keep trying to pop up down in Delaware County, but besides that, all the bigger storms are staying just to the south of Tulsa. Now, we are going to get some scattered thunderstorms in our southern counties later on tonight, but I don't think those will be too strong or severe. Look at the northerly winds, so you can see our front now all the way down into northeastern Oklahoma, and then a warm front kind of drapes back south of Table Rock Lake. So because we have the northeasterly winds now, we don't have to worry about much in the way of severe weather as we get thunderstorms a little bit later on tonight. A lot of severe weather down through parts of Arkansas, southeastern Missouri, and then now east central parts of Oklahoma. This little wave, northern parts of California, that will start to affect us tomorrow night and into Easter with chances for rain. For us tonight, spotty little guys trying to pop up over the next few hours. These will increase a bit late tonight into the morning hours, but you can see mainly in our southern counties. And then we'll start the day. It's going to be kind of cold, and then we'll start to warm things up, and it looks like a pretty good day by tomorrow afternoon. Most of us upper 50s to lower 60s. We'll drop back into the 40s later on tonight. You can see that cold front dropping in over the past couple hours. Currently outside, sitting at 59, northerly winds 5 to 10. Humidity is at 78%. As these storms continue to work mainly in our southern counties late tonight, we'll start with partly sunny skies for us tomorrow, but by the afternoon, we're going to warm up into lower 60s. It's a little chilly, but at least we're going in the right direction. 56 by noon, high temp right around 62. All right, tomorrow night, here come the clouds once again. With it, we're going to start to get some spotty, light little showers, becoming a little bit more widespread. By Sunday morning, no thunderstorms, just showers across the region most of the morning into the early afternoon on Sunday, which kind of stinks. We'll be dodging the showers as we head into Sunday. We do have a storm system moving in late Tuesday, giving us a chance for showers, thunderstorms late Tuesday into Wednesday. Some of those could be strong, possibly severe, kind of hanging out on Thursday into Friday, another severe threat late Friday into Saturday. So a pretty active week for us next week. 62 tomorrow, 55 Sunday, 63 on Monday, warming into the 70s and 80s with thunderstorms next week.
Yeah, like you said, kind of chilly tomorrow, but at least during the daytime, no rain.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It does. Doug, thank you, as always. All right, coming up in sports, Pitt State football hitting the field for the team's annual spring game, plus Crowder baseball aims to push its winning streak to 13 games. Jacob Leonard has that, of course, more next.
Well, after 15 practices between March and April, the Pittsburgh State football team finishes up their spring schedule tonight. The Gorillas hit the field at Carney Smith Stadium this evening for their annual spring game. Now this year, like last year, it's the Gorilla offense against the Gorilla defense. The defense comes out ready, forces a turnover here. Jalen Fuchsa gets the interception. Then the offense gets going. Nice run here from Jacoby Smith. He fumbles at the goal line, but Tyler Whalen jumps on it in the end zone. That's a touchdown, and not long after, Chad Dotson finds Bryce Murphy. Neosho Kid for the touchdown there, but the defense dominates the rest of the way, winning 79-41.
I think we made it difficult. We limited their big plays, held them out of the end zone for the most part. They had a few there when they started in the red zone, but as a defense, I felt like we had a pretty good day. Standout guys were definitely Tanner Loggins. I think I heard his name like 15 times. And then another one would have been Jordan Rogers. He's a freshman safety. Saw him make quite a few plays, some pretty good ones too. And I'm excited for those guys. They're young and they're up and coming and they're making good plays.
The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons are 3-3 to start the baseball season. All 6 of those games have been road games for Pittsburgh. And tonight the Purple Dragons get to play at home for the first time, and it's a rivalry game. The Purple Dragons welcome in the Fort Scott Tigers this afternoon for their home opener. Cooper Hayden, great start on the mound for Pittsburgh. 2 strikeouts here in the first, and Hayden back to work in the third. He actually takes a no-hitter to the 5th, throws a complete game shutout, allowing just 5 hits and striking out 9. Offense adds to the lead here in the 5th. Cale Farrington through the right side. Farrington gets 2 RBIs on the evenings. Dragons get the shutout 7-0 behind a dominant performance on the mound from Cooper Hayden.
I thought Cooper was fantastic tonight. You know, he's been our guy for a couple of years now that we know that when he goes out he's going to compete. And tonight he did a really nice job of mixing all his pitches around, kept them off balance, and then the guys behind him did a good job of making plays behind him. I had a feeling there'd be a good crowd. It's a beautiful night and great place to play. So, you know, now we get to be at home here for a little bit, and I know the kids were chomping at the bit to get it home, you know, and so it felt good.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are on the road this weekend for a big MIAA series against the first-place Central Missouri Mules. Now, the Gorillas dropped Game 1 last night, 7-1 in Warrensburg. Tonight, Pitt State aiming to even up the series with UCM. Now, this one is over. The Gorillas fall 8-5. Garrett McGowan goes 3 for 4 on the day with a solo home run. Missouri Southern baseball also in action tonight, trying to even their series with Newman. Now, Tragan Parker here blasts the home run to right in the 2nd inning, his 11th of the season. Parker goes 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs. Lions would get 5 in the 2nd. Logan Van Wy got the start for Southern. 6 innings, gives up just 1 run and strikes out 6. All Lions today, they top Newman 12-2. The Crowder College Rough Riders have put together an 11-game winning streak. The Rough Riders are 37-8 overall coming into the day and ranked number 5 in the nation. The Crowder trying to stay hot this afternoon, hosting a doubleheader against the St. Charles Cougars. Game 1 tied at 2. Josh Patrick, 2-run shot. Rough Riders take the lead. Then it's Peyton Holt's turn. Solo shot here to left. Crowder puts up 5 in the 2nd inning. The next inning, Josh Livingston stays hot. He blasts his 2nd home run of the game. St. Charles sticks around. We're tied again here, but Chaz Poppy finds grass and left. RBI double, scores Livingston. Crowder hangs on to win Game 1, 9-6. In Game 2, Crowder trying to keep that winning streak alive, and they would get it done, winning 4-2. Rough Riders are now 39-8 this season and have won 13 straight games. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Football fans have a reason to celebrate this weekend. Fox Sports officially kicking off the opening season of the United States Football League. Fox News correspondent Madison Allworth has more from Birmingham.
The wait is finally over. The United States Football League kicks off this weekend with the Birmingham Stallions hosting the New Jersey Generals. But this is not like any regular game. With the amount of access that we're going to have with this broadcast, it's more similar to the Super Bowl than to a regular season game.
I think one of the things that makes this league different is the access that we're going to have to players and coaches.
And Fox Sports is pulling out all the stops. 57 camera angles being used for each game, compared to 22 for a typical NFL broadcast. A number of rules have also been changed to make for faster play, emphasizing offense and scoring, including the option for a 3-point conversion. And new overtime rules, Fox Sports host Kurt Menefee compares to a soccer shootout.
Each team will have 3 plays, but they'll go one and then the other and then the other from the 2-yard line to see which one can score the most times before the overtime ends. So that'll add a level of excitement to it.
The USFL also introducing new technical improvements aimed at improving player safety and referee calls. One of the biggest changes, no more chain crews measuring the distance to a first down.
With the chip in the football and cameras all around the stadium, the technology is there to show whether or not a guy got a first down.
And you can catch the opening game right here on Fox at 7:30 Eastern on Saturday. In Birmingham, I'm Madison Allworth, Fox News.
Coming up, how Hollywood is reopening, giving some unique behind-the-scenes experiences to visitors. Hollywood is rolling out the red carpet, from museums celebrating movies and music to new shows, as well as studio lot tours reopen, and now adding more superhero fun for those photo ops. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Show business is back in business, and that goes for Hollywood attractions, famous destinations, and studio tours. Let's go!
The Warner Brothers Studio Tour has famous sets to visit, guided tours with behind-the-scenes stories, interactive fun showcasing filmmaking, and many moments to pose and post.
Fans love this area. We are in Sheldon and Leonard's apartment from The Big Bang Theory.
Call Me Kat
also
films here.
Yes, all three leading ladies from The Big Bang Theory are doing other things on the lot.
And there are some new adds to the tour now that things have reopened.
Yes,
so we'll go see those.
Yes, we have our Action and Magic, which has our Wizarding World of Harry Potter and our DC Universe Batmobile.
Yep.
So exciting.
We know who's there. Let's follow the bat signal.
Yeah.
We were one of the first to get a look at the installation featuring their new revved up arrival from The Batman. The Warner Brothers Studio Tour follows mandated CDC guidelines. Check each location's website for the COVID health and safety updates, including at those museums where the red carpets are rolled out. The Academy Museum of Motion Pictures has its galleries of movie-making history. The Recording Academy Grammy Museum welcomes music lovers to explore genre-spanning exhibits, learn about their favorite artists, and Grammys fashions. A few more ideas for foodies. Disney California Adventure Park has the Food and Wine Festival, and among the tickets available, Cirque du Soleil has premiered a brand new LA extravaganza of high-flying acts called OVO.
So get ready to see the sights, stars, super cool movie memorabilia. It's lights, camera, action here in Hollywood. Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Going to leave you with some behind the camera action right here at KOAM. Have a great, safe, meaningful Easter weekend. To do this all again tomorrow. See you then.